To tell you guys. 3. Yo! What's going on, y'all? Welcome to Libra Views. I'm Charlene. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and like the video. So I'm here to talk about Jocelyn's Cabaret, the episode that just recently premiered. And this episode was a good episode. It didn't really give what I was expecting for it to give, but it was a good show nonetheless. So let's get into it. So the episode opens off with how it ended last weekend with Jocelyn putting Natural out. You know what I'm saying? So Natural's wilding. She was going in on Jocelyn. And Natural was trying to get behind the securities and I guess run up. You know what I mean? I don't know if it was to talk or to throw hands, but she was trying to get at Jocelyn. And Jocelyn was just like, put the bitch out. You feel me? She's expressed that she felt like Yummy was lucky that it wasn't last season because she would have mollywopped Yummy. Now with Jocelyn, I gotta call it because when Natural was going at Yummy for her feeling disrespected, you told her that she was too little and this, that, and the third. So you didn't say, oh, if you weren't so little, I wouldn't hit you. You said, if I was the old me, I would have hit you. So you can't go on somebody else for not having a transformation, so to speak, yet and willing to beat Yummy's ass when you expressed that you would have done the same thing. So Natural is still going off, and she goes into her room, and all the security guards and the camera people and the producers are probably, in the room. And Natural's just explaining pretty much what she's been explaining. She wants to be seen more than just a porn star. She wants to be known as more. She's talented, and which I believe. I follow her on Instagram. She skates. You know what I mean? She dances. She went to performance arts school. You know what I mean? She has a child. So she does have more to offer than her past, but unfortunately, it wasn't like you made one porn tape and that was it. See, Jocelyn has a tape on Pornhub. You know what I mean? It's not a full-blown sex tape, but she's fully naked. She's playing with herself. So Jocelyn has a tape on Pornhub. Now, it's only one tape, though. Ms. Natural, you've kind of really rode the wave of being a porn star. So it's kind of hard. Like me, for instance, people still see me as a reporter. That's what I went to college for, was for journalism reporting. I've been writing for newspapers from 2011 to 2020. So I've been working with newspapers on and off for almost 10 years. So even though I'm kind of branching off into other modes of communication and artistry, people always, oh, you still write for the paper? Oh, you still write? Haven't worked there in a year. You know what I'm saying? But I'm associated with that. So I understand her wanting to be seen as a different thing, but you're not going to be seen as something different. You might be seen as the porn star and a singer, a porn star and a dancer, but you're always going to be seen as a porn star. I mean, that's just what it is now. Like I said, if it was 1, 2, maybe 3 porn videos, cool. But Ms. Natural, you have a lot of videos. So unfortunately, that is going to be something that's going to stick with you. But she was expressing that to the camera people. And she was also expressing how she wasn't necessarily being toxic because she wasn't arguing with the other girls. You understand what I'm saying? Now, this is what I will say about that. When Jocelyn said that she was being toxic, I don't think that she meant, oh, you're fighting the other girls. You're in the drama with the other girls. She was clearly referencing the fact that you would be in your room screaming and going off about things that's going on in your personal life, which is totally, we all go through shit in our personal life, and sometimes you do need a moment to just, let it go. But that can kind of seem a little toxic, not in the way of arguing with the girls, but that is toxic, you know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers in the house smoking, when it is good vibes, drinking, kicking and twerking, dancing the routine, and you in your room screaming. So though you may not have been toxic with interacting with the other females, but screaming and doing all the extra shit, it could be seen as toxic. But basically, Natural was explaining, listen, I'm not toxic. I wasn't arguing with these hoes. I wasn't doing this. I wasn't doing that. So I don't understand why Jocelyn would say that. Now, what I will say is that Jocelyn never said that out in the open. If Yummy would have never had brought that to the forefront, nobody would have never known that Jocelyn considered Jocelyn toxic. So Natural toxic. So that's one thing I will say. Yes, I can see how it will piss Natural off, but it clearly didn't have any effect in the show because she was still there, she was still involved, and Jocelyn didn't say it in her confessional. She didn't say it amongst the group. She didn't even say it to Yummy. She said it to people behind the scenes helping her, you know. So that's what I have to say about that. So Jocelyn is standing outside of the room where Miss Natural is, and I could see that Jocelyn was kind of pissed off because she felt like Natural challenged her, and she was letting Natural speak about, you know, her personal stuff and how she wanted to be seen as more than a porn star. But once Miss Natural was about to go into, and she want to call me toxic and blah 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 blah, and Miss Natural turned the conversation from talking about herself back to Jocelyn. That's when Jocelyn snapped and was like, get the cameras out her room, tell her to shut the fuck up, she got 5 minutes to leave. And what I will say, them cameramen got out that room fast as hell. I mean, Jocelyn really might be an EP on this shit, like real live. You know what I'm saying? Not on no Shawnee O'Neal Basketball Wife stuff, on some real, like, this bitch is a real EP. Because when she told them cameramen to get out, you'd have thought that she was their mama. They was like, yes, they was out. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that was cool. So I noticed that Jocelyn called Natural a country girl. Get her country ass from Gary, Indiana out of here. Girl, Indiana is in the Midwest. You know, Indiana is definitely not a southern state. Or is it a southern state? You know, I'm gonna let Jocelyn live on that one, because I'm like, Gary, Indiana, it's like up there in Chicago, like up there. Like, I know Gary and Chicago are like right next to each other. So I'm like, I don't think that's a southern state, but I don't want to put my foot in my mouth. Well, I don't think it's a southern state. You know what I'm saying? So Jocelyn, if you're gonna be insulting hoes, make sure that you get, you know what I mean, the right area where the hoe is from. She's a Midwestern. She's not a southern girl, but I could be wrong myself. If somebody knows, please drop down in the comment section and let me know. Because, look, I don't want to be looking stupid while I'm trying to correct Miss Joseline Hernandez. And I'm wrong, too. So, we just going to leave that alone. So, Jocelyn calls out Yummy again. And she just basically continues to chastise her, talk to her like a child. Yummy's like, no, ma'am. Like, no, that wasn't my intention. And Jocelyn kind of starts, even though she's pissed off at Miss Natural for Miss Natural kind of coming at her, she starts to kind of take Natural side. Like, you know what? I kind of do believe that when Miss Natural say that she was saying this behind the scenes and you was doing this, but when you get in front of this, you doing that because you did the same thing to me. You know what I'm saying? And Jocelyn was going on and Jocelyn was going on. Then Jocelyn says that she's going to go get the other girls to pretty much jump on her because she's ready to let all the girls go based off of Yummy, and she already knows that if she expresses to the girls that their opportunity is ruined because of Yummy, that the girls would then jump on Yummy. But my question is, isn't that bullying? You know, Miss Jocelyn, love you to death, gorgeous woman, gorgeous. But you got on Miss Natural and you said that you would rather Miss Natural just attack the girl than to constantly be berating and just coming at her about an issue. And you did the exact same thing, Jocelyn. You berated her on the couch when you and Miss Natural and Yummy were all sitting there. You were in her face like this, talking to her, getting her together. Then you told her to go to her room. Then you called her back out of the room, chastised her there. Then you said you're gonna go get the other girls to then jump on her. So at that point, Jocelyn, shouldn't you just have smacked the shit out of her? Doesn't that go back to the logic that you were trying to tell Miss Natural of, well, I'd rather you, instead of keep talking about it, and just hit her, but you did the same exact thing, and then you brought in some other girls to even assist. At least Miss Natural was doing it by herself. So Jocelyn is talking about how she's gonna put all the girls up, blah blah blah, and Miss Boss Tech was being nosy. So Miss Boss Tech, now I ain't gonna lie, I'd have been like Miss Boss Tech too. I'd have been like, you know, I'm not trying to get in the middle of anything or be nosy, but is you really gonna send us home? Like, we ain't had nothing to do with that. My drunk ass was on drink number 6. You feel me? I wasn't even in that. You feel me? Miss Boss Tech was like, is you really gonna send us home? Okay, period. I'd have been saying, I've been at the door like this. I'm like, I know this bitch. They said, Jocelyn. So Jocelyn tells Boss Tech, you know, to grab up the girls and get Yummy all together. And Jocelyn basically gave the girls the option to kind of vote on whether they feel like Yummy should be in the house or not, based on her snitching and telling Natural what Jocelyn said and such. So Sapphire's going off. You feel me? Sapphire's like, bitch, if Miss Natural go, you gotta go. And I just feel like at the end of the day, if you give the girls the option to get somebody out of the house, it don't matter who it is. It could be the nicest, best person in the house. They're going to vote for the person to leave. They're competing for $10,000. They're competing for something. Now, it's one thing if it was kind of like everybody kind of got an equal prize at the end, or everybody kind of got an equal situation in the end. But it don't work like that. So, because it's a competition, even if it's a bitch best friend, maybe not a best friend, but you understand what I'm saying? They're gonna tell, it don't matter who she is, who she is and what she does. They're gonna be like, get her out of here. You know what I'm saying? So, Jocelyn, you knew what you was doing when you told the girls to vote, because you wanted to kick Yummy out anyway. And you ain't want to kick Yummy out because she said some shit that you said. You know what I'm saying? But you wanted to get her out, and you was like, you know what, I'm gonna make some good TV and I'm gonna get the other girls to do my dirty work for me. Now, what I will say back to the comment of Jocelyn calling her toxic, I will give Jocelyn props. You know, when Yummy did expose that situation, Jocelyn but back down like no punk bitch. She said, I did say that, and this is why I said it, you know, but she shouldn't have opened up her mouth and said nothing. You know what I'm saying? And kind of Yummy saying that it was already a tense situation, but her Yummy saying that was what kind of, you know, really set the shit ablaze. You know what I'm saying? So Jocelyn's like, you know what? I'm done with this. I'm getting in the pool. Team captain Sapphire, come meet me. So she goes out. She's completely naked. You know, Jocelyn has an amazing body. You can't say Jocelyn Hernandez does not have an amazing fucking body. That bitch, I mean, it's a titty. I mean, she has beautiful breasts. I mean, the nipples ain't too goddamn small, you know, because small nipples are cool, but the areolas, like I say that, not nipples. You know how sometimes the areolas could be a little too big. You know what I'm saying? The areolas could be, I mean, her areolas and her boobs are really perfect. And then, you know, we know they're fake, but they're not all the way up here with the nipple up here. I mean, they kind of hung and they're just beautiful. Jocelyn looked amazing. I said, go on, bitch. Go on, bitch. So Sapphire says she old again. Now, the way Sapphire talked about she old, I thought Sapphire was like 38, 39, almost 40. And then Jocelyn was like, bitch, you only 33, which 33, I guess 33 compared to 21 is old, but 33 really ain't that goddamn old. And let me tell you something, when you get in your 30s, that's when you really be knowing what the fuck you doing. Like, who wanna be in their 20s anyway? Bitch, I ain't know what the fuck I was doing. You know what I'm saying? But as you get older, you get a little bit, and you still fine and sexy, but you're just older and wise, and you just know what the fuck you're doing. You know how to make good decisions. You already done been there a couple times, so you know what to do and what not to do. You know how to have fun. You know your drink limit. You know what you can drink, what you can't drink. You ain't getting hungover and shit like that no more. Sapphire, stop saying that you goddamn old, girl. 33 is not fucking old. The way that you act and the way that you sound, I thought your ass was pushing 40. Girl, you got almost a decade to a 40. Relax. So Ballistic gonna come outside and talk about getting mad, you know, because her titties out. And I thought it was so hilarious that he wasn't mad that her titties was simply out. He was like, why your titties out and Sapphire titties ain't out, bitch? I want to see everybody's titties. If your titties gonna be out, everybody's titties gotta be out. And it's like, Ballistic, we done already seen her titties. We done seen Jocelyn boobies a few times over. You feel me? So, relax. Jocelyn brings in a therapist. I'm like, Lord, child, really? This was clearly to fill some space. So, honestly, him talking to the girls, it wasn't really that interesting. You know, Lucky was talking about how she, you know, wanted to start a line for, you know, skincare. She does have really nice skin. Chanel so brought up the fact that she drinks every day, and we didn't know that. We thought the only alcoholic for real was Boss Tech. But Chanel says that she, you know, drinks a lot, and that, you know, everybody in her family drinks a lot. She comes from a family of strippers, and they all either do drugs or drink a lot. So, the advice that the therapist the doctor, was to drink more water. That's the advice that you're going to give a bitch that's telling you that she's 25 years old and she drinks every single day? Get this therapy and his toupee out of here. Big Legs said that she ain't spilling no tea and she ain't take no L's. I fuck with it, Big Legs. Sapphire says that she wants to make it to the end, you know, of Jocelyn's Cabaret, and I think she will. I think Jocelyn fucks with her, and she is a fan favorite, so I think she'll make it to the end. Lexi Blow talks about her relationship with her mom, you know what I mean, and how her mom pretty much put her out at 17 when she got pregnant, and she kind of had to go through life and make major decisions and make moves and stuff like that on her own. And I related to that because my mom put me out when I was 17, and I was not pregnant. But, you know, I was out the house at 17 as well, and I didn't have much guidance. And though I'm pretty sure it would have been way harder with a kid, but even without a kid, you know, I understand the struggles, you know what I'm saying? Especially if you don't come from a family that doesn't have much anyway, so it's like you're leaving the house and you ain't got much anyway, you probably don't know much about credit, you don't know anything about stocks, you don't know anything about interest, you don't know anything about, you know, the liabilities that you take and how they could cost you, and you're just figuring all this shit out as you goddamn go. So I related to Lexi on that. And, you know, Lexi Blow is a Libra like me. And she says it's hard, you know, for us to, you know, display our emotions in front of people. We display our emotions and deal with our emotions, but more than likely on our own. We don't really do it out in the open for everybody. So I related to Lexi Blow in that aspect. And then Boss Tech came out and they was talking about her drinking. We know that already. Then Yummy comes out and talks to the therapist. Yummy ain't say nothing that we already know. You know what I'm saying? She basically said how she felt like, you know, Natural was doing too much and the girls want drama and she's there to win and this, that, and the third. The wig that she was wearing was horrible. I mean, on some real shit, Yummy has gorgeous hair. She has very pretty hair. Girl, get you some shea butter, some curl activator, and in a spray bottle. Put that bush out. I mean, and style that shit up real cute and crazy. You don't need to wear them wigs. Them wigs you was wearing in confessionals, no. And honestly, you look a little bit younger with the natural hair. If you wear your natural hair, this whole 21-year-old fantasy you trying to display, it'll be way easier for you. I'm just being real. So then the end of the episode ensues, and Jocelyn and Natural, they meet up to talk. And what the fuck was Jocelyn reading when Natural came into the room? Now that shit, it didn't have a title. It was just a big ass book. I didn't know if it was an encyclopedia. I didn't know if it was the original transcribed Bible. I'm like, Jocelyn, what the fuck is you reading? And then no tea. You know, Jocelyn don't even speak the best of English, you know, and I don't even know how that Spanish is. So I'm like, girl, was it in English? Was it in Spanish? That shit had me really intrigued. I'm like, what is Jocelyn reading? That big, it was like this big. So something's wrong with Jocelyn. So they basically talk, and they're talking about the same thing that they was talking about at the table. You know what I mean? The same, when Yummy and everybody, and Natural and Jocelyn were talking. They're talking about the same shit. You know, oh, you call me toxic, the reason why I called you toxic, this and the third. The end of the episode was kind of annoying. I mean, it was really kind of no point. They, like I said, they were just reiterating the same thing that they were talking about when they were on the sofa. Jocelyn turned into Ebony from Players Club real quick, because she was like, I came here to dance. You feel me? I ain't here for all, I came here to dance, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? I came to junior party to dance, and that's it. You know, and Jocelyn was kind of over it, and, you know, Natural was crying, and Jocelyn was trying to listen, and they wasn't doing nothing but saying the same shit they had said before. So, like I said, I was expecting a little bit more from the episode. The episode was still good. The episode was good. I was intrigued. I watched it twice, but I was expecting a little bit more. But who knows? We might get a little bit more next episode. But that's my review. Thank you for tuning in. Like, subscribe. And until next time, I'll talk to you later. Peace.